Hey guys, KaioKen here. Welcome to Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Today we're actually going to be going through the Great Sky Island the first time you're here and getting all of the Korok seeds. Now there's one that's going to be a little bit separate from the rest, and there's one that's going to be a little more difficult than the rest. But to start out, here we are. This is the first one. Let's get started. So this first Korok is actually going to be inside these ruins here. If you go straight down from the initial area that you start at, there's a tiny little place in the corner. And we're going to go into the ruins on the right hand side here. There's going to be a little flower that pops up in the center between those two statues. And you just got to follow it around this area until you get to the end. And it'll just keep disappearing and popping back up. Excuse my issues here. Apparently I don't know how to use the controller. You go around, and there he is. Not too difficult. Pretty simple one to begin with. Let's move on to the next one. Now, the second one's actually going to be closer to the Temple of Time over here. You go up these stairs right here, and then up this small next set of stairs. Gonna be the shrine right over there, and you'll see a little shine on the ground right over here to the left of the Temple of Time. You can see it right there. All you're gonna do is you're gonna go up to it, press A, and he'll pop out of the ground. On to number 3. So this one is slightly different. You're going to go across this after you go through that first shrine, and you're going to actually go over to this little rock outcropping that's in the center of this little, I guess, pond you could call it. And you're just going to go right over here. You're going to pick up this rock right here, if I could do it, and out he pops. And you know, every time you do this, you gotta make sure you give them a little bonk because they do get frustrating. Now, with number 4, you're gonna be over by this giant waterfall here, looking out across to the shrine. And this guy's gonna be sitting right on top of this rock over here. And he's just gonna be laying down with his backpack. You're gonna have to pick him up. And from there, you're going to make a tiny little raft for him, if you will, and set him along this rail right over here. You're going to want to jump onto this right on the same one after him so that you're not getting left behind. And bring him over to his friend, who will give you 2 Korok seeds instead of just the one that you've been getting. Now, with number 6, you're actually going to be going right across above the shrine here. There's going to be a big old stub of a tree. You're going to pick up this rock, and there he is. Easy enough, right? Let's go on to the next one. And for number 7, this wall that I have black out here, we're gonna climb up that. Don't worry, you'll be able to make it as long as you are going slow and use a little bit of patience. And we're gonna go over to this other stump of a tree and set this stuff on fire. Now, after you set that on fire, there's gonna be a rock underneath the tree. Underneath the leaves, and you're gonna pick that up. I don't know how to use a controller still. And there we are. Don't forget to give him a little bonk for me, okay? For Korok seed number 8, we've actually got this little pit right here that's filled up with some rocks. We're just gonna jump on that and do a ground smash. And inside here you will find a little floating balloon. Just shoot that with an arrow and you will find that next Korok. Now, for Korok seeds number 9 and 10, we're going to go over next to this first, I believe it's the first device dispenser, and we're gonna create a little bit of a, well, a fast rail car. And we're gonna take that over to this other Korok over here that's lying with a backpack, and do something similar to the first double Korok one. And make sure to strap him on the front so he feels nice and safe. And we're gonna take him across. Make sure to, if you have any extra fans, put some extras on there just in case. Make sure he knows that we're gonna get him there as quick as we possibly can. Oh, and make sure you pick up the entire rail car. That way he knows we're not doing the job just halfway. Now, for number 11, there's actually a couple of ways you can go. Initially, I recommend picking up all these spicy peppers. That way, when you do go into the cold, you're going to have enough food to make sure that you have a little bit of cold resistance. Now, you go into this pit cave here, cook up a little bit of peppers here, make sure you get plenty of it so that you can go right in. And first route that I recommend you could take is going straight up this wall here. Use this pillar, and you'll make it up there with a little bit of patience, like before. You could also go back into the pit cave and break through this wall. And in here there's like 6 different bright bloom plants, whole bunch of bright bloom seeds, a giant bright bloom seed, and another vein of ore. You can also look up, and there is a bubble frog as well. Quick thing to note, if you actually shoot the bunnies that come out of these bubble frogs, you can actually make some rupees. And of course I miss most times, but I've got some thoughts I may end up trying out here real soon. I'll keep you guys updated in case I find anything out. On to the way to get up this area. So you just climb up this little outcropping here. There's going to be some keys up at the top, and you're just going to take care of them and go out to the side. That way you're going to actually be right where you originally came out for the other area, and there's going to be 2 different spots for some Korok seeds up here. So if you were to go continue along the path that I was walking before, you're going to come to this same area. You're going to come over to this little block here and just put this piece together. That way this little guy pops right out and you can get his seed. Now in this same area, you actually could turn right around, and across the way there is a tiny little hill here. Got a few little outcroppings. You can just climb to the top. And up here at the top, there you can see it right now. There is a dandelion. You can actually just fall right down here. It's going to land here every time, and you just spam A and collect this next Korok seed. That'll be number 12. For Korok seed number 13, this is actually going to be a slightly more interesting one. There's a couple different ways to get to this one, but the easiest that I have found is going through the bottomless cave and being very careful not to fall. Climb down this area. You can actually press B to let go for a moment, and if you press forward towards the wall, you will actually catch yourself before you fall all the way down. Now that'll save you a little bit of time and a little bit of stamina. If you jump from the very bottom, you'll actually survive even with only 3 hearts. And go over to this direction towards the edge of the waterfall. All the way in this corner over here, you're actually going to get to a little puzzle simple enough to solve. All you really have to do is fit part A into slot B, and the Korok will pop out, giving you seed number 13. And for seed number 14, you're going to turn around and go back to where you came down in the bottomless cave, and go up these stairs, and up the top of this area right here. You should notice that behind this waterfall there's actually a little area where you can go up and around behind it, and it brings you a little bit of a shortcut. Now you're actually going to want to go across this bridge here and run past this sentry right here, going all the way around. And behind this other waterfall, you can actually go up this wall right here. You can't go to anything on either side because it's an icy surface and you're not actually allowed to climb up that. But if you have a little bit of patience, you can get up this part right here. Just make sure not to jump, because you will likely not make it if you do. From here, you're going to want to go into this shrine and get your next ability. This will help you to get the next Korok seeds. And now that you have the ability from that shrine, you can go over to this little outcropping ledge here from the tree and go through the bottom there. And once you're inside the tree, you can do the same thing and ascend through the bottom of that part. And at the top of this tree, there is a stone circle, which, if you didn't know before, you can complete it with an extra rock, and this next guy will pop out and give you your seed number 14. Now, if this is still your initial playthrough, for seed number 15, you're going to want to go back to the Temple of Time and get through this area. Go back to the Room of Awakening and complete that shrine. After you get through with the shrine, you're going to go out through that area and go up the side of this little hill here. At the top of this hill, there's yet another tree that you have to climb on top of. As you can see, inside this tree there's a tiny little area of water, and you simply examine this area and you found the next Korok. For Korok number 16, you're going to go back down that hill and past the chest and go down on one of these wings here and make it down to this island right here directly below us that's got that nice big old pool of water in the center. Come to this side of the pond and jump directly in the center of these lily pads. That will be the Korok seed number 16 for you. Number 17 is going to be over by the Temple of Time yet again. You can teleport over to the shrine that's closest to the Temple of Time. And from this shrine you can jump down and sprint over to the actual temple. You'll notice when you get underneath the temple right here, underneath the bridge, there's a tiny pillar, and if you look up, there's actually a leaf-colored little log right here that you can ascend through. If you ascend through that, you will find the next Korok, number 17. Now, for number 18, this one caused me a lot of grief. I went through so much trial and error failures and complete failures, and found out that there aren't that many ways to do this. I would truthfully recommend getting the Paraglider before you do any of this. That way, you have a much easier time than I did, and you don't have to go through all this painstaking effort to actually fail time and time again just to be able to do it like this. Now, I don't know if anyone else has figured out an easier way to get one of these wings to fall off of something that's not one of those ramps, but the way that I found is I would connect 3 logs the way that you see here, and I would gather a 4th, and I would attach and reattach it to the wing. I decided that from the back was actually the most efficient way to get it to move, because it slightly pushes, as you can see, the wing without really doing a whole lot, and I was able to somehow get just enough distance between myself and this island to land safely, even with 3 heart pieces. Now, around this tree there is another ring of rocks. You just have to pick up this other rock over here and complete the circle. This will give you the Korok seed number 18. Please don't do what I did. Just get the paraglider. It'll be so much easier for you, I promise. And for the 19th and final Korok seed of the Great Sky Island, you can actually get to the end of this tutorial area, and once you've looked at that cutscene, you can jump down to the Kingdom of Hyrule, and after you have gotten to the bottom, you can then go back into your map, go to Sky Island, and teleport to the Room of Awakening yet again. And from there, you're just simply going to turn around and go directly back into the tree. I hope you guys found this helpful. Please like and subscribe if you can, and I'll see you in the next one.